need a check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I sold them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.
Yo, what is up? It's Finn's Take with TBD3 coming to you for another banger. You already know what time it is. You know how we get down in here. Come in, do your boy a favor, punch the like on your way in. Hey, this is where the Miami Dolphins fan comes to kick it, to have a good time, to just vibe out and talk some Miami Dolphins football, whether it's positive or negative, whether it's, constructive. We try to be objective over here. We try to give you the real, right, well, what's going on, and we try to give it to you from a football-based perspective, film-based perspective, right? I really appreciate everybody coming through. I see we got the homie Raul P in the building. Raul P, what's good with you? What's going on? That's the homie, the day oneer, the homie who's been in the members gang probably since day one. Probably Raul P was probably one of the first 10 subscribers of the channel, first 10. And we up to 1,000, almost 1,100 now. So do me a favor, hit that like on your way and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's get it cracking, Raul. Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to the homie Raul P. And shout out to the ambassador of the Miami Dolphins community. Chef Jew is in the building. He says, good morning, OGCB83 and everyone. How y'all doing? Check your pulse. Fins up. Hey, it's still check your pulse, man. It's still check your pulse. We still playing good football. Hey, teams have bad games, right? We got cooked, right? So we went from, hey, he got cooked.
He got cooked.
Hey, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
We went from that, and we had to humble ourselves really quickly as Miami Dolphin fans. We had to humble ourselves, and it went from he got cooked to,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
and that's how it is sometimes. So after the game, we humble ourselves and say, hey, we got cooked.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
We got cooked. So, hey, appreciate everybody coming through, man. Shout out to the homie Chef Jew, who is always out and about in the Miami Dolphins community, holding it down for all the content creators. Appreciate you, Chef. Appreciate everything you do in the community, fam. Fins Up Wednesday's in the building. What's good with you, Fins Up Wednesday? And the homie Chef Jew even does me a favor and renews his membership. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Chef. Let's go, man. Let's go. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Chef. Chef's been a member since day one too. So he's been holding it down for the squad. And big ups to the members gang, captains of the squad, Shake Money, Fins Up Wednesday, Dolphin State of Mind, and Incognito. And shout out to the squad. William Perry, Chef Jew, Raul Parada, Cruz Ruiz, Shake Money, Andravia Shaw, Figueroa, G, Big Slick, Adam Sadowski, the Wayne D Experience, S. Harris, Alex Renee Diaz, Hooked Up Joe. Also, we got Carly Mills, Fins Up Wednesday, Young Landon, Dolphin State of Mind. And Dolphin State of Mind actually gifted 5 memberships. So he actually was able to gift 5 memberships to the last 5 members of the squad. So Dolphin State of Mind really putting in work, captain, membership, and he's gifting membership. So he's doing a lot to support the channel. I appreciate you, homie. Triple S Podcast, Incognito, Newfoundland, Brian Brains, Mansa Chill, Q, Mr. Fanatic, Finn Dougie B, Sky King, and we're waiting on number 28. Who's going to be that number 28 to the squad, man? Who's going to be that number 28? Shout out to the homies. Shout out to the mod squad and the members club. The members club is here. Hey, Chef Juice says subscribe, like, share, and donate. Become a member today. Your seat at the table is waiting for you. Join the family. Join the family. Join the family. Appreciate everybody coming through. Flavor J is in the building. What's good? Good morning, Dolphins. Keep them fins up. We destroying the New York Giants. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. We destroying them boys. Big. got a good opportunity to bounce back this week versus the New York Giants. And honestly, they're an NFL football team. NFL football teams are tough, any given Sunday. So you still got to come to play. You still got to lock in. But this should be a dub for the Miami Dolphins and this team because we should be just too good for them. We should jump on them quick and just let them know it's not going to be a game. For sure. For sure. Raul P says top 3. Yes, sir. Top 3. Shout out to Fins Up Wednesday. We got cooked, but let's get cooking. There you go. We did get cooked, right? Hey, but we're gonna bounce back. We definitely gonna bounce back. My man Fensaholic Show Batman in the building says, "What's up, CB83? Glad you realize Liam is straight basura. Worst Dolphins of all time." No, I can't give him that. I can't. Worst Dolphin of all time, I'm giving to Jesse Davis right now. So that's who I'm giving that to, Jesse Davis. I'm not. He's not on Jesse Davis's level yet. I mean, Liam's the type of guy that's going to get ran over slowly, right? He's not going to be. And honestly, and looking at some of the film, he had some decent plays, Batman. He had some decent plays, right? But he also had some plays where he was just outmanned and Ed Oliver just gave him a move and it was a wrap, right? So not a terrible. I mean, he was bad on Sunday. Let's be clear. He was bad. And when you lose a guy like Connor Williams in the middle, who's top 5 blocking at the position, and you go from top 5 blocking at the position to bottom 5 blocking at the position, it's going to be a long day. Point blank period. It's going to be a long day. Now, that's his first game ever starting at center. For the Miami Dolphins to be irresponsible like this and say, hey, our backup center option is going to be Liam Eichenberg, even though he was a bad guard, right? A bad guard, right? For them to say, hey, we're going to go into Buffalo with Liam Eichenberg as our center, and it's going to be the first game he's ever played at center, starting in the NFL, and we're going to go against Buffalo. I think that's irresponsible for the Miami Dolphins. Just to be completely honest with you, it's irresponsible. I thought at center we would have a more formidable option at the backup option, but for us to put Liam Eichenberg at the backup option, it's just like what are we thinking? Like, do we really think he's that good of a player? Now, I'm not gonna say he was bad on every play because he wasn't. And looking at the film, he had some good plays. Point blank period. He had some good plays. But his good plays are only on plays where it's run pass. It's like a run pass option or run pass protection, right? You're firing off the ball. You're just going straight down the line, and he's really just blocking the guy in the far gap and not getting up the field. Those were his best plays, clearly from looking at the film from what I saw. Now, when he just has to sit back and block somebody for 2 or 3 seconds without them getting past him, he's going to struggle. And honestly, a lot of our guys are going to struggle like that, right? So yeah, man, he's not the option at backup center. He shouldn't be. And honestly, I think it puts us in a very bad position because honestly, Connor Williams has the right. I mean, he has the ability to hold us hostage, right? Like you're either going to pay me or you're going to lose games and not be efficient offensively because you choose not to compensate me properly and you choose to play Liam Eichenberg at backup center. Like it puts us in a very tough spot. So I don't know what Chris Grier is doing this morning or what he was doing Monday morning or Tuesday morning, but he should be trying to find a formidable option at center, backup center, just in case Connor Williams does want to play the game with us. And that's being completely honest. Like we got to be real with ourselves and we got to put ourselves in a position to succeed. If we're going to not make a play for somebody else, then you're not doing what's best for the team. You're not doing what's best on the team. Now, if Connor Williams is saying, hey, I'm ready to go, I'm not going to play this game with you. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to play. Even though I'm hurting or injured or whatever, I'm going to get in there and play. Then that's different. You don't have to go get something, right? But you need to have a relationship with a player where he's telling you, hey, like, I'm I'm not gonna play or I am gonna play. And if he's telling you I'm not gonna play hurt, then you need to go find somebody. If he's telling you he's willing to give it a go this game, cool, let's rock. But you can't play without Connor Williams in the center. You need him. And that's a position you just don't play with because it's the guy who has the ball in his hand every play. We talk about quarterbacks having the ball in their hand every play. So does the center. The center has the ball in his hand every play also. He could fumble that snap. He could do a bad snap. You know, there's a number of different things. So you got to have a guy who's consistent and also who can call out protections and be the smart guy in the middle, right? Connor Williams has been that for Tua. He's kind of been that safety blanket for him. And we need him in the building. We need him in the building practicing, playing on Sundays. If he's not playing on Sundays, we're going to struggle unless we go find something else. So good talk there, Batman. I did want to address that. But yeah, I know you're a big Liam Eichenberg hater. I understand it to some extent. I just feel like the offensive line as a unit, as a whole, is a solid unit. But there are a couple guys in there that could really, if you take them out of the play, if you take them out of their positions, we could struggle. That's not a lie. Shout out to the homie Anthony Manzano. Oh, Flim Flam, man, I gotta get you in there. What happened? I gotta check that out. So I'm definitely gonna get you in there. Shout out to the homie Flim Flam. And now that's what happens too sometimes. What I want y'all to understand is that if it doesn't show up on stream, I don't see it, I don't know. So sometimes I have to go back into YouTube and like look up who's become new members and stuff like that. And I haven't done that in the past day or so. So I got to go in there, check that out. And then I'll get you added for sure, Flim Flam. I got you, my boy. I appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you joining the member squad. Let's go, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you coming through. Mudbone, what up? Kenner Rankin, what up? Mauricio, what's up? Worst Dolphins of all time is Deion Jordan. Oh, that's a good one, too. That's a good one. That's a good one, too. Flim Flam, I see you. Okay, fins up Wednesday. William Perry in the building. What's good, William Perry? That's the homie, the day oneer. Yes, sir, William Perry. I still need you to come down here. We got some work for you, my boy. Come to Florida. We got you. We're going to take care of you. Shout out to Fins Up Wednesday with the $2 donation. Josh Allen, 36 QBR. Week 1, laugh out loud. Yeah, we ain't messing with them Buffalo Jills. We going to see him again. We definitely going to see him again. Shout out to Fins Up Wednesday with the donation. Let's go. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Fins Up Wednesday. I see y'all, man. I got somebody in the back. I'm gonna bring them up. Hey, we're just talking right now. I know we're gonna do the my man Chef Shoe says, yes, sir. That video has me cracking up every time. Hey, isn't that Desi be sliding, don't he? Hey, that's just joy right there. That's the joy. That's the joy. Hey, I'm gonna bring up the homie Tony in the back. I dropped the link. I'm gonna drop the link again in the chat. We're just gonna chat it up for a little bit. I got a little time before I get my workday started. Come up, holler at me for a few. We're gonna chop it up. Shout out to the homie Chef Jew who renewed his membership. Fins Up Wednesday. Hey, bringing the heat today. $5 donation, $2 donation, man. We're gonna call him Butter because he on a roll right now. He is on a roll. My man Chef Ju says share the link with over 15 plus Miami Dolphin Facebook group I follow. Hey, appreciate you, bro. That helps a lot, guys. And honestly, if you guys aren't a part of the Facebook community in the Miami Dolphins, y'all are tripping. There's so many good Facebook groups out there to join. Go join those groups. A lot of the content creators are members of those groups too. A lot of different people, a lot of different relationships to build within those groups. People in a lot of different fields do a lot of different stuff. There's a great Miami Dolphins community out there. So be sure to join the Facebook groups as well. And hey, Chef Jew is everywhere in the community. Everywhere. So appreciate the homie, man. Wayne D, what's good with you, my boy? What's up with you? What's popping? Shout out to the homie Wayne D. He's in the members gang too. I don't know. I think he lost his members gang thing. Tom the Don morning got gifted a membership. Thanks, but at work at the moment. Yes, sir. Appreciate whoever's gifting the memberships right now. I appreciate you. That's big time, man. That's big time. Shout out to the homie Anthony Manzano. Anthony, what's good with you, man? How you feeling this morning, man?
Yeah. Hey, CB, it's weird. I allowed people to give me gifts, and I'm not receiving anything.
Really? Okay. I'm not sure why that is. You may have
YouTube's been acting weird lately. Like with my when I do that on other channels, it's doing the same thing.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like
That's what
I did on your channel multiple times. I had to shut off my iPad, see if that worked, and it's still not working.
Yeah. You may have to like reset, man. YouTube does be acting funny sometimes, man.
Yeah, no,
It does.
no, and for me, CB, to be honest, when we were talking about yesterday about trades, to be honest, I'm looking at the two. Jalen Ramsey to me he's not our corner. He's a star, which is basically, would that be just a big slot corner basically? Is that what the star is?
You said Jalen. Well, I think the star guy is a little bit of everything. So he does some run support, he does some slot work, he does some tight end work. He might go outside on some plays. He might drop back into coverage at the safety position sometimes. So I think there's a number of things that star guy can do. And I think that's kind of what the defense is probably missing right now, is just a guy who's a little bit more versatile, and that Vic Fangio can move around, right? Yeah. Right now, his guys are just kind of set in place. And what happens is when guys kind of sit in
very
place,
limited.
Right. And when guys sit in place, the offensive coordinator knows, hey, they're not moving, they're not really adjusting to anything we do. So let's just attack this side of the field and just focus on this side of the field, because it's gonna be open for us. That's like, even when I look at the Buffalo Bills game, right? Diggs mainly focused on that left side of the field, right? Cater side, right? He never really went over to the other side, and he knew, hey, if I go over to the other side, I'm going to get coverage from X, and I got Javon Holland over the top, right? Now, if I go to the other side, I got Cater Kohu, and I got Brandon Jones on that side. Which side you picking, Anthony?
BJ and Cater.
Right, I'm picking BJ and Cater. Because we don't know what BJ is. He literally just came back from injury. He's coming off a season.
He's basically a strong safety. He's a traditional strong safety. I'm not holding the kid, but he's not great at coverage and stuff like that.
He's just not, right? So yeah. And I mean, he's almost a good box safety. He's a good guy you can roll down into the box, and
he's Chris Clemens to me.
Yeah, I could see that. A guy who's going to tackle, who typically makes tackles. Now, he didn't have
Rashad. I was going to say Rashad originally, but Rashad can cover.
Rashad can cover, and Rashad was just a dog, and I don't see that. In Brandon Jones.
Oh, yet. I have one better. He reminds me of Trey Boston.
Trey Boston? Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit.
No, not Trey Boston. Sammy Knight. Sammy.
Okay, Sammy Knight. Yeah.
I'm not saying Sammy couldn't cover, but Sammy is what you would consider these traditional strong safeties.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Traditional strong safeties are guys like Bob Sanders. That was the old role, right? Guys who could, do a little bit back there, but also could come down into the box and hit you and play run support. But I think in Vic Fangio's defense, I feel like the traditional safety role isn't really a thing. I think both of his safeties are like hybrid cover guys, can both tackle, can both make plays.
And this is why I'm also looking at a guy who's already demanding a trade out of where he is right now. That young corner out of Denver, Surtain, he's asking for a trade because he doesn't want to be there. Like, would we have to give up do you think we would have to give up way too much for
possibly? I mean, you just never know what compensation is for these guys. And I don't know. I mean,
realistically,
I think realistically we would be looking to draft guys. But realistically, we need to be bringing Cam Smith along very, very soon. Like we just drafted him second overall. Second
And realistically, I think
second round.
I've said this. Cam is X's replacement. They're molding him to be X because I
He
think
should be. He should be. And
no,
honestly,
and
that needs
X
to
to
happen.
me only had like what X has one good year left because the amount of injuries he had throughout his career I feel is finally catching up to him. Like he's not as fast as he used to be and stuff like that. Like
he's not as fast. He's not as athletic as he used to be. He's definitely on the back end of his career.
Do you think that's why him and Fangio are not getting along really? Because he specifically with the Buffalo game, he wanted to cover this Stephon Diggs, but it seemed like Fangio refused to put him on Diggs for some reason. Do you think it's because Fangio sees that he's slowing down and he thinks he can't keep up with?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. But hold that thought. I'm gonna get Fins Up Wednesday in here real quick, and we're gonna talk about Fangio and we're gonna talk about X and the dynamic there. Fins Up Wednesday, how's it going?
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
How you doing? How you doing, man?
Oh, it's nice to finally talk to you guys.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming through. Where you from, man? I see it's from New Zealand, right?
Yeah, New Zealand.
Nice.
But I've literally been in your guys' chats and everybody's chats for like since pretty much when Tua got drafted.
Really, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
So you a big Tua fan?
Nah, he was the only one I could relate to in like he's the only Samoan in there, and I've got heaps of Samoan friends, so wow.
Are you from Auckland, Fins Up?
Yes, I'm from Auckland, brother.
Okay, no, because when I hear you talk, I have friends who are in the military in New Zealand right now, and they say the Auckland, out of everybody, Auckland has the thickest New Zealand accent, like very like thick.
Fun fact, huh?
How's my accent? I don't even know if I've got an accent.
Oh no, you definitely got an accent. I mean, you just sound like you sound like you live in a different area. I mean, to be completely honest with you.
Do you speak the Samoan language?
I speak Tongan. I'm Tongan.
Yeah, do you speak Tongan?
Actually, I'm half Tongan. Yeah, I'm half Tongan, half white, like half white. So I'm not sure what that is, like European. So
okay.
I speak Tongan, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, I see you in there gifting memberships and doing all type of stuff, man. I appreciate you.
No. I've been a big fan of the NFL, and Dan Marino was my favorite player for so long. And then let's skip 20 years when Dan Marino was my favorite player, right?
Yeah.
And then they drafted Tua. I was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah. So something you can relate to again, right?
And I felt every single loss we had from 2020, 2020 when Tua first got, and it was all man, we had a fucking good defense at that time, though.
We did.
Flores.
We had a great defense. Yeah.
No, that was like that. That's why I don't understand, because 2 years ago, pretty much the same personnel, and then all of a sudden we've got what? We're pretty much like the Broncos last week. Like, I don't understand that. Like,
yeah. I can understand your thought process. Like, we had a good team. I mean, back then we had a good team, right? We thought we had a really good team, but and a lot of these guys are still some of the same guys from that team, bro. Like, to be completely honest with you, when we look at Sunday's game, right? Sunday's game, there was really the same guys playing on defense that played last year for us. Really the same guys, really nobody different. No new players. The only new player on the field for us was David Long Jr. Now, our defense wasn't the best last year, but one thing we could do was stop the run, right?
Yeah.
And then our secondary was still bad. It was still bottom third of the league. So I kind of give Fangio a little bit of a pass because he's still playing with the same guys we had last year. It's pretty much the same secondary. Nobody different. Now he's got. I feel like. Hold on, just give me. I feel like he's got to bring Cam Smith along a little bit faster for him to be successful in this defense.
Fangio has a history of not playing a ton of rookies. I noticed that. Like with Fangio specifically, throughout his career, he rarely plays rookies.
And it could be a trust thing.
CB83.
Yeah.
Do you think when we're playing? Because I was watching the game here, and it cost a lot of money to actually watch the game in New Zealand.
How much does it cost? How much does it cost over there to watch the game?
$200. It cost me to get the NFL package on the fucking
YouTube.
On Denzen.
Okay. You guys have a different. It's a different thing.
Oh, you have the zone.
It's called Denzen or something like that.
Oh, Denzen or something like DAZN.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. It's a box. It's owned by Eddie Hearn, the boxing promoter. It's called The Zone.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I had to pay $200 for that to get the fucking NFL pass. But what I was gonna say to CB, like, do you think, because we're going toe to toe at one stage, like, do you think the effort of the defense sort of trickled into the offense, like the energy? Because I felt like it did. I was watching it.
Yeah, I do think energy does happen throughout games. So if your defense can't get stops, your offense's energy is going to be like, damn, like we got to go out here and literally score on every drive for us to be successful. So that does happen.
I'll add something to that, CB. For me, I felt honestly that I think we were still recovering from that blowout win I understand coaches say play different games, but sometimes you don't know how your players are going to react after a big win like that, like against the what is it called, the Broncos, where we blew them out by 70 points or something, like 40 points.
Yeah,
we really don't know how these players are going to react after a big win like that, and then I think that's why we came out flat, because to be honest, I think they were still I'm not saying they were partying, but it seemed like they weren't very focused that whole game.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I was looking at the statistics, and when you have a game where you score over 50 points, typically that next game you struggle. I mean, that's just the nature of it, because you're in so much of a high, you're exerting so much energy, and then the next game you come out and it's typically like a flat, you play flat. And I mean, we came out and played right away offensively, but defense just couldn't get stops early. And then the offense, it just kind of caught up with the offense. The energy does transfer, like Fenza Winsey was saying, it does transfer over. But I got Amicus in here. I know he's a Bills fan. Amicus, what's good, man? What's going on?
Hey, Amicus.
What's going on, my guy? How you doing on this wonderful Wednesday morning?
Amicus, what's up, brother?
Hey, it's good to see you over here. You never come over here, man. I'm glad you showed up.
I've been away for a minute, man, trying to get back into the loop. But listen, man, I must tell you guys, like around 4 o'clock on Sunday, I was elated, obviously, right? Just excited, very happy. I woke up even happier Monday morning. And then yesterday morning, I woke up with a perma smile on my face, and I didn't think it could get any better than that. And this morning, bro, I literally woke up with my 100% Turkish robe that says King on it. It's black and gold. You would love it. I woke up somehow with it already on. I'm smoking my Savinelli, the finest tobacco one could find, and I'm having a brilliant day. Good Bills.
Hey, I hear you. Hey. I would be excited too, and bask in it, right? Bask in it, because you play us again, and when you play us again, you won't be able to have this type of energy. So take advantage of it. I really do encourage you to take advantage of it, because you only get it for a certain amount of time. So I cherish it too. I really would.
It's good times, man. But I do have a serious question for you, though.
Yeah, let's go. Let's rock.
I'm not sure if you already did. I can't remember. I saw one video yesterday. Was it the All 22? Did you already look at that tape?
So I looked at the first part of the All 22, which was like the first quarter or so. I'm going to continue probably later today. But what was your thoughts? Did you have a question?
Well, I was curious about your takeaway after like having a few days to reflect, seeing the All 22.
Well, I think so. Let's be complete. I'm just gonna keep it real, 100%. When you go into a game like that and you don't have your starting center, and you have your secondary who has some guys back there who aren't, really playing well and who aren't proven. Justin Bethel, Brandon Jones, those guys aren't guys that should be starting in our secondary, to be completely honest with you. And I did think the game plan would be much better, Amicus. And that's where I think I was so disappointed was the game plan on Diggs. I thought we would try a lot harder to take Diggs away. And I was disappointed that it didn't happen, right? And I think if we focus on Diggs a little bit more and we make it more difficult on Josh Allen to get the ball to him, I think you guys have a much different day. But
let me ask you this: Do you remember if we started playing more man press before or after the Armstead injury?
I'm pretty sure it was after, but I mean, when Armstead got injured, I think the game was pretty much over already.
Second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it comes to the Armstead injury, Armstead is a good player, right? But Kendall Lamb is suitable. Like, he can get in there and make the plays. Like, press man is gonna it's gonna bother us when we don't have our offensive line healthy and when we don't have enough time. It's gonna.
Well, that's what I was
us.
thinking. I was wondering if they started doing it more because of that. Yeah.
Actually, I would disagree a little bit, CB, and this is why.
I'm gonna go to you, Anthony, and then I'm gonna go to Finzo Winzy after this. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would disagree with you just a little bit because I heard the announcers say the way you can cause issues for these smaller receivers like a Tyreek and a Waddle is bump and run them the whole game, where they don't have enough time to get off the line and stuff like that. And
but what are you disagreeing
Buffalo did that
with?
the whole game.
No, I don't think they did it the whole game. We picked them apart in the zone for the first couple drives. I mean, the drives where we scored on, they were doing some zone. And teams are gonna mix it up on us, and that's what they should be doing. If you're a good football team, you're gonna play a little zone. You're gonna bump around a little bit. You're gonna show some stuff and roll into something different. And they're trying to give Tua different looks. They're trying to confuse him. So I think that's a part of it. And I think that's how everybody's going to play us. Nobody's going to come out and play a strictly press man the entire game. Like, it's just hard to do, especially when you got guys like Tyreek Hill and Waddle who are just super fast. Now, you can throw some safeties over the top and say, underneath, play press man, and then over the top, you got some safety help. But even still, we've been really good at really pushing those guys back, those guys that are playing press man, and just sticking the route, getting out of the route. And Tua has been anticipating it. He's been throwing the comebacks. He's been throwing the shots in the zone. So he's been really good at it. So I think it's a combination of that and not having the time. Having the time to go through reads is essential, though. But I see what you're saying. You're saying that they played us a little bit of press man more than you thought.
Yeah, no. And what I was saying also is the reason why Tyreek wasn't as successful is because they were bumping him straight off the line where he couldn't have enough room to build up speed like he usually does. Where it seems most of the teams were playing zone on him.
When I watched the film, they weren't doing that. And when you're putting Tyreek in motion like that, you can't play that bump and run stuff. When he's in that motion set where he's in an H-back position and he just takes off and goes outside, you can't play him bump around at that point. You just got to play back and wait on it. So I think you may be, I think you may be saying that they played bump around the entire time, but that's not the case. If we put on the film right now, there's going to be times where they didn't play bump and run. Like, they just sat back and played zone.
The majority of the second half, I know.
Well, you can say, yeah, I think second half they kind of stepped up because they felt like they were getting pressure. And when you feel like you're getting pressure and you're getting to the quarterback, you can do that because you feel like they aren't going to be able to get the ball off. So that's different. But fins up, Winzy, go ahead, man.
Did you notice during the whole game, I think the most we sent was four or five. Why don't we just all out blitz Josh Allen?
That's a good question. I think
Because he's great against the blitz.
we should have blitzed them.
But he is.
We all know what Josh Allen does when Josh Allen gets pressured on. So that's the biggest plan. Like, we can't stop Josh Allen running and doing what Josh Allen does with his passes and all that sort of stuff. But I don't understand why
I'm going to tell you.
Look,
real quick. I'm going to tell you. We tried to blitz Josh Allen in the first half.
Send the house
but sending the house. It's not sending the house isn't something you can do when you don't feel like you trust your corners, and when you don't trust your secondary. Sending the house.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is they're gonna score anyway. We established that after the first half.
So you're saying they're gonna score anyway, so you might as well just go all out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, after the first half, first or second half, we knew they were just going down on the.
But see, I think that's a different philosophy, though. I get what you're saying. Look, and I think there's a different philosophy to that. You can say, in the second half, I'm just going to send my guys and we're just going to play. And if we get beat, we get beat. We get blown out, we get blown out. But you can't think like that as a defensive coordinator, because you have your offense to think about as well, right? You have to think that, hey,
that's what I was going to say too. We have the offense to counteract it.
Right. So you have the offense to counteract it, right? But your offense isn't performing that way. If your offense is out there scoring points, right?
You trust your offense, right?
No, but you gotta go by what you're seeing in the game, right? You can only go by what you've seen in the game. So the second half,
that's the problem. Fangio doesn't have foresight, or he doesn't have because I could see that personally, and I'm from New Zealand. I played gridiron, but I have a little bit of insight. But from my own knowledge, I could see that we needed a blitz. I knew Josh Allen was just having too much of a field day.
He was having a field day, but you gotta, like Amicus said, I'm gonna be really transparent with Dolphin fans. Josh Allen is not the type of dude who's just gonna just look at a blitz and not be able to throw. He's not a statue, right? So if he was a statue, you can get away with blitzing guys like Tom Brady and stuff like that, who are just in that pocket and who ain't moving. But Josh Allen is pretty damn mobile, and he has the ability to get off platform and just make some terrific throws.
What you're saying there, CB, he just stayed really mobile because we did nothing. We gave him no pressure.
We tried to be completely honest with you. There were times in the game where we tried to, and we just never got it.
In general, when you look at in general with Fangio, he's not a defensive coordinator like a Boyer who's constantly using all out. He doesn't use all out blitz.
He doesn't.
In general.
He just doesn't do it. Just rarely happens.
What I'm trying to say is Josh Allen is the type of player that needs pressure on him. Like Josh Allen. I'm not talking about what we're doing, what they're doing. Josh Allen, what I've seen over the years, you put some sort of pressure on him, he's gonna fold. That's the type of player he is.
I think there's a fine line. Look, and this is the fine line between pressuring him and allowing him to make crazy throws and beat your ass, right? So there's a fine line between the two. You could either pressure a guy and he kill it, or you could pressure a guy and he fold. Josh Allen, for us, has typically been the type of guy that when you pressure him, he's going to kill you. He's going to make you pay for it. Right. So unless your guys are getting home, unless you really feel comfortable with your guys getting home and getting to Josh Allen, then you aren't gonna send that pressure. And we did it in the first half. I want you to understand, Fins Up Wednesday, we sent pressure at Josh Allen 3 or 4 times. We just never got there.
About the pressure we put on him last year.
But you can't look, Fins Up Wednesday. You're trying to fight me on it, but if you don't trust your DBs, Justin Bethel, Brandon Jones, Kader Kohu, if you don't trust those guys to be able to make plays in the secondary and cover guys man to man, you cannot send all out pressure. And sending all out pressure puts people in bad situations.
See, CB83, what happens is people see what happened in week 1 and they get a false narrative. And first off, that's Jets personnel, right? That's different than Dolphins personnel.
It's much different.
It's different. So, I mean, you can't get a
right. Got a better secondary right now. So, and people see, oh, Josh Allen, they played him like this and they got away with it. Yeah, they can get away with it because their players are playing better than ours in the secondary right now. So they could do that. But everybody can't play Josh Allen the same way. Like, you got to pick and choose your battles. And Fangio is saying, hey, I'm not going to put these guys in a situation where I'm just going to get bombed on every other play because I'm sending an all-out blitz. I can't do it. I'd rather just make this guy try to pick me apart going down the field and do it methodically. When you do it that way, when you do it that way, there's more of an opportunity for him to make a mistake, right? There's more.
Look, we're looking like we didn't even try anything. We pretty much just gave Josh Allen the defense he wanted to fucking pick him.
Well, no, you need. Well, hey, go back and watch my film breakdown from yesterday. And
yeah, I did watch it.
And you'll see plenty of opportunities where guys like Justin Bethel blitzed. You had Jerome Baker blitzing. You had David Long blitzing. Did they ever get there?
Yeah, you're right.
They never got there. So it's like, if they never get there, what's the point of sending them? You might as well stay your ass in coverage, right?
But that's what, all I'm trying to say is, like, we didn't actually do an all-out blitz one time in that game. Like,
you're saying just mix it up and try it every now and then. I see what you're saying. I mean,
yeah, it's like
throw a look at him.
It's so frustrating because I hated Flores, but man, he used to send the best blitz. I'm
gonna say this. I understand what you're saying, but I think Fangio notices that he doesn't really have the talent,
exactly,
like at linebacker or safety to do that.
Yeah.
Right now.
But it doesn't matter because they're gonna score anyway, right?
But you can't. Hey, but Fenzo, the last thing you want to do is put your team in a position where you're just giving up points every couple minutes and you're putting the offense back on the field every couple minutes. At some point, you got to slow a team down, make them run the football, make them play football. You can't just go out there and say, "Oh, they're going to score anyway." So we're just going to send an all-out blitz every other play.
We did none of that. Like,
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I like to see something kind of mixed in too. But I think personnel has a lot to do with that. I think
no defensive coordinator is going to wave the white flag and say, "Hey, they're going to score on us every time, so we might as well do this." Nobody does that. Nobody thinks that way.
Wait, when it was at halftime, what was the score, Mr.?
It was 31-14.
Exactly. So what do? Desperation, or what do you do?
You just keep playing. You keep keeping guys in front of you.
You trying to chip away?
Yeah. You keep chipping away, but you don't go out there and put your guys in a bind.
Big chip away. Like,
we'll see that. I see what you're saying. 31-14. My mindset coming out the half would be, hey, we're going to continue to do what we do. We got to stay in front of guys. We got to try to make plays in the secondary. We're not going to let them beat us deep, right? We're not going to all-out blitz. We're not going to send everything, but we're going to mix it up enough to where he's uncomfortable. And you got to try to keep him uncomfortable. Now, Josh Allen sending that blitz is not like sending a blitz at a guy like Zach Wilson. It's just not the same. Josh Allen has a huge arm, and he can escape that. So it's different. And when he gets off platform, when he gets outside that pocket, we really don't have the guys to chase him down and to make the plays on him. Jerome Baker, I
feel like that's the risk you need to take against the Bills, because Josh Allen is always going to be Josh Allen. I feel you need to give it. I can honestly kind of agree with you there. I feel like Josh Allen is going to pick you apart either way, right? So you need to find a way to hit him. And that's kind of my thing that bothers me about this, Amicus, is that we don't hit him nearly enough. We don't try to hit him nearly enough. We try
that boy got legs, man.
I mean, and I get it. He does got legs, but we gotta try to get more pressure. We gotta try to hit him more.
See, that's what worried me about this game against Buffalo. Not just the score, is not just the previous game where we blew someone out. Is I don't know what it is with Josh Allen. He plays mediocre against other teams. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, but when he gets to the Dolphins, it seems like he plays on another level. I don't know what it is with him.
He does get up for the Dolphins games, and what you got to realize is that it's a division opponent too. So we play these guys twice a year. We know Josh Allen knows we're coming in to try to take over the AFC East. They know that, and the coaches know that we're coming into their crib. Like, we're wearing t-shirts, bulletin board material that says, why are we underdogs? Like, you guys got to understand that the Bills just wanted it more than us on Sunday. They did. And the defense flew around and made plays. Their linebackers were punching people in the face. Their tight ends were punching safeties in the face. So when that happens, it just shows, hey, and this is my problem with the Dolphins team as a whole, right? They're just much too finesse. They're a very finesse football team, and they take on the characteristic of Mike McDaniel of being a nice guy, right? When you go play teams like the Buffalo Bills or like the Baltimore Ravens or teams like, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the tough teams who are just going to scrap you and get after you like that and just say, hey, it's going to be a long day. We will have some struggles, and that's where this team needs to get better. They need to get more physical. And
I thought what Fangio would have helped them with, though. Like that's what pisses me off. I thought Fangio would have instilled a more hard-nosed mentality with McDaniel, but he seems to be following more the freaking.
But see, and
finesse.
I think that's going to be a very interesting dynamic to watch. Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio, and they seem like complete polar opposites, right? But honestly, for us to be a good football team, we need to be a blend between the two of them. We need to have a little bit of Vic Fangio in us. We need to have a little bit of Mike Daniels in us.
Yeah,
it seems like
I feel like a big change will happen once those two are simply on the same page of everything. Like they.
Yeah, and it takes time. It takes time.
Fangio, I feel like Fangio doesn't want to listen to Mike McDaniels because Mike McDaniels is like a young guy, but that's just my opinion. That I just feel like he's like Fangio is like
old school to listen to a second-year coach. That's the issue.
And I don't think I don't think Fangio is stubborn to the point where he's not going to listen to him. I think he's going to learn from this experience, just like Mike McDaniel is learning from this experience. But it's also there's some give and take. There's got to be some sacrifices, right? So Mike McDaniel may have a gripe with Fangio and the way he's doing personnel right now, but he's got to trust him, and he's also got to just lend his recommendations and let Vic Fangio figure it out, right? And that's a part of it. It's like having a kid, right? You're going to give them recommendations of how they should behave, and you're going to expect them to go out there and do it. Now, if they don't do it, and
it's not your fault.
It's not your fault, but all you got to do is have that meeting with them. Next time you say, hey, you got to correct this. Like, we got to be better here. And I think Vic Fangio is having that conversation with Mike McDaniel, especially after the game Sunday. You got to think that Mike McDaniel sits down with Vic Fangio and he says, hey, we got to figure out something defensively because this isn't working for us, right? The personnel isn't working. The scheme isn't working.
And this is where I fear. Let's say hypothetically we go into a team like do we face Kansas City or Philly after Carolina?
We face Philly after Carolina Sunday night.
Yeah, okay. Philly.
Hypothetically, if what worries me, let's say we go in there 0-3, which I don't think happens, but if it does, and stuff like that.
It'll be 2. It's only 2 games away. 2. It's the third game.
Right. So it's the third game. So you're saying if we lose the next 2 games and go into Philly?
Yeah, but how is it? Being that McDaniel is a player's coach, it doesn't seem like he stands up to the players when they're not performing. Like, I don't know what it is.
Well, guys, I mean, what I want you to understand is that when you're coaching a game on Sunday, there's not really opportunity on the field to correct guys. Like, that's not where you do
Even
it.
in halftime.
right? At halftime is where you do it. You're going to make some adjustments at halftime, right? You're going to have some tough conversations with guys at halftime, but it's never going to be publicly, and it typically shouldn't be. And when I saw the Giants head coach have the meeting with Daniel Jones and throw the iPad, it sends a bad message, right? So that's what you won't see from a guy like Mike McDaniel. Now he may, jump on a guy and be like, "Yo, I need you to do this. You got to be better here." But I don't think you'll ever see him like
what Dable did to Daniel Jones.
You'll never see anything like that. And that's where I think the NFL is going away from. That's something that used to happen. Guys used to get scolded on the sideline, but you'll see it from more of position guys.
For me, I think Dable's more of an old school coach because he comes from like that Nick Saban tree.
Yeah, and that's that old school way of thinking.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think? Because Dable was pretty much the reason why Tua was the way Tua is. Do you think that he will be able to scheme against Tua because he knows Tua he's like?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can try to scheme against Tua all you want to, right? I mean, he does know him, right? But you also got to think
he's
that
the reason why Tua was actually like up there, eh?
Yeah. I mean, he was a part of Dabo was definitely a part of his success, right?
No. He's the reason why Tua was up there and the reason why Josh was up there. Josh never played a better, like, more consistent of what, because we all know Trash Allen. That's more available to our viewing eyes now. But when he was with Dabo, he pretty much was the best quarterback, like, in the NFL. Like,
yeah, he played well.
And fins up. I've noticed this. It seems like him and Ken Dorsey are getting to know each other way better now. I think it was slow at the beginning because they didn't know each other that well.
Yeah, I think with time, those relationships get better. The communication, the understanding of what they're expecting from one another gets better. I think that happens. But when you're looking at Daboll and the scheme, I mean, it's one thing to scheme against Tua, but you also have fantastic receivers like Tyreek and Waddle to worry about. So you can try to take away all you want to, but those guys are pushing the envelope as well. So those guys are playing as well.
You don't have enough players to double cover, like
exactly
double cover both guys.
So it's still a matter of talent, and it's still a matter of Mike McDaniel still scheming up some really good plays too. So
back to the blitzing, the all-out blitz, fins up. To be honest, I think it's a double-edged sword with fins up. With all-out blitzing, I understand you wanted to see, but you can get burned even worse.
Very burned.
Yeah, no. But the funny thing is, that's what I was saying. Like
you're saying, was get burned anyway.
You get burnt, but we got burnt. So why not send it one time? Like Fangio didn't send anything. It was like, here you go, Josh Allen.
Traditionally, Fangio's not an all-out blitzer guy. Like even when he had those elite defenses with Von Miller and Bradley,
we're not talking about like anything else. We're just talking about like
in the game.
When it's the point when the score's like 34, well, we're barely 14. Like at some point, you just gotta send it. Like you gotta get on Josh Allen. That's the only way. Like there's the only remedy that everybody and anybody that watches the NFL or knows about football, you gotta get on Josh Allen, or else he's just gonna be.
And Fenton, was he?
Josh Allen that we know.
I think you're on point with your question, right? Like when do you just send it and say, hey, like we're struggling anyways, let's try to figure out something.
Yeah.
I just think when you're showing an all-out blitz, you're showing your hand, right? And when you show your hand, it's going to be really easy. But
the thing is, we were in CB. Sorry,
desperate situation. Yeah.
We were in desperation mode at that point at halftime. We're in desperation mode. So what do you do? Like you got to give Josh Allen some sort of discomfort. Like that's what I'm trying to say. We gave him no discomfort. He was so comfortable. Like they left on the fourth quarter. That fucked me off. Like I was really like so angry. Like
Yeah,
I don't want
no,
to tell you.
but with Josh, for some reason, I don't know what it is. He's one of these type of quarterbacks. Depending on who he's playing, it seems like he's no matter how much you pressure him, his completion percentage
Hey,
gets
that's not
higher.
true. We all saw the Jets game, brother. We all saw
I
the
know,
Jets
but
game.
you can't get fooled by games like that. Like you still
No,
have to.
no. But
That's a
then we go
small
back to
sample
last year when we
size.
put pressure on them. We put pressure on them last year. Same situation. Like,
Well, yeah. I mean, we also put pressure on him on times and he beat us. So I think, and you got to look at your personnel now. You got to see how your guys are playing. I mean, bro, I understand your concern with not mixing it up enough, not showing some stuff. I agree. I think that, but I think when you look at the situation, right, and you say, "Hey, I'm sending
hey,
two or
CB,
I'm
CB,
sending." Hold
CB.
on, real quick. He's saying, "Hey, I'm sending two guys here or there, and they're not getting there." Right? If I'm sending two guys here or there and they're not getting there, should I send five? Like, should I send everybody
Send the
now?
house fuller. Send the house fuller.
I see
Send
what
the house fuller.
I see what you say. You said send the
Yeah.
crib at him, huh?
Yeah. You gotta send it all, brother. Like, that's what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say. It's like,
And
send it
that's the
all. Like,
thing. It's like high risk, high reward, and it's like
that's exactly. Remember Brian Flores' defense,
yeah, when you
the
gamble,
zero good.
hey, it's a
Yeah.
gamble. It's high risk, high reward.
But how good
And
was our defense when with Brian Flores? Like,
I mean,
it was
they were
little.
good. We had some good moments. We did defensively when we were sending all out
Went
blitz. It was
in
fun to
4 years
watch.
to the worst defense. Like, there's no way. Like,
We literally sent an all out blitz at Lamar Jackson the entire game, and he struggled dealing with it, right? But I think he's not a great thrower. When you deal with great throwers and a guy who can move like Josh Allen, now Lamar Jackson can move. He could get outside the pocket, right? But when you're dealing with a guy who can throw it and run it, and Josh Allen, I don't think you're willing to take those chances, those gambles. That's just, I think those are gambles that you're just not willing to take. It's like I'd rather just play in front of him and hope he makes a mistake, right? Hope he
but
has a high throw over the middle to Diggs or something, and we get an interception.
can I say this? Like,
Yeah,
we take so much risk on offense, right? Why not take the same risk on defense?
but
It's like our offense is like
they're two different. They're two
it's
different
one-
units, though. They're two totally separate units. Like
I
they
agree.
have two
I'm just saying,
They
our
two
defense,
totally different coaches and with two totally different philosophies. And when you're playing defense, you're
I
playing
agree.
defense, right? You're
I
usually
agree.
not on the attack. You're usually on the defense trying to make sure that these guys don't go down the field. Now, when you're on offense, you're in attack mode. It's like going to battle, going to war, right? So defense, you're typically playing defense. You're not attacking the offense. So you got to look at the philosophies and the coaching styles and see how they are. But they're literally two separate units, bro. Totally separate from one another. Two different coaches, two different coaching styles.
I can tell you from watching 4 years ago. I remember so many times when they would send not all our blitz, but they'll send the fucking 5 personnel sort of blitz. Back in 2000 when tour first started, that's how we won so many games. They sent so many blitz that it was like,
Yeah,
we're the opposite of blitz now. We're the opposite of blitz. Like, we don't blitz at
you
all.
are,
Like,
but you gotta realize, look, that's a different team back then, right? And let's look at the two different teams, right? That team was built on, hey, defense is gonna make plays for us. Offense, just don't turn the ball over and do your best to be efficient and score some points. Now our team is the exact opposite. Offense, score as many points as you can, go out there and kill it every drive. Every time you get on the field, score points. Defense,
yeah,
just don't give
that's
up
actually the
a
problem.
lot. Just
That's
don't give
actually
up a
the
lot.
problem.
And it's gonna hurt you. Look, it's gonna hurt you in games where offenses, the opposing team's offense can just pick your defense apart. We're gonna struggle, right? It's gonna be a shootout. We're gonna have to score a ton of points, like we had to on Sunday in order to win the game. But in games where you can go in and slow a slower offense down, and just keep them under 20 points, you're going to win the game because you're going to be able to score more than 20 points typically with this offense because you're just too potent. So I think that team that we used to have is the exact opposite from what we have now. And I think a lot of fans want to see a little bit more of that Flores defense right now, and it's not showing, and it's making them upset. Right.
Okay.
But y'all don't want to see more of that offense that we had. Y'all don't want to see more of the offense that we used to have because that offense wasn't good at all. Like it wasn't moving the ball. It wasn't efficient.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a
go
question?
ahead.
What do you reckon? What do you rate the Bills defense? Is this a 10 out of 10 defense?
The way they played us on Sunday,
Yeah.
a 10.
I got a feeling like
they flew around. I think they played their best game though. Like I feel like they played their best game. They flew around. They played with purpose, right? They played with purpose.
I got a feeling that if they play the Chiefs or the Eagles right in that form they're in right now, it's going to be a destruction.
Yeah. I think they beat them.
I feel like it's going to be a destruction. Like the Bills. What I was watching from what I know from like I'll just say 20 years of watching NFL. That's one of the most like formidable, and because I'm biased, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like, shit, this is the most formidable side I've seen in a long time. Especially the way Josh, but it was especially the way Josh Allen was playing too. So he wasn't like he was playing like Tua.
And he was really efficient. I didn't expect him to play that well. I didn't. I thought we would make it more difficult on him, to be completely honest with you. And I thought taking away Diggs was the key to that, and we just couldn't take him away. Like we couldn't get a guy on him that was keeping him from catching the ball. So
did you notice?
I think the penalties hurt us too.
Did you notice Dorsey was running some of the same motions that we're doing in some of the same plays? I was like, oh, that's a fucking slap in the face, like.
Yeah,
especially that touchdown.
It happens. JR Black, I want to address it. Says the saddest thing is we may not have killers on defense to be top 5, but we do have players defense to be top 15. Our defense is really underachieving, and this is something I agree with wholeheartedly. I thought as a unit collectively healthy, they could be top 5, right? But when Jalen Ramsey goes down, when Jerome Baker isn't playing well, when Eli Apple and Deshaun Elliott aren't playing, I mean, you're going to struggle. And I think this defense will probably end the season top 15, top 10. That's my hoping. But right now, we're just nowhere near top 5. I mean, Jalen Phillips has been out. And we just don't have we're not getting the production. We're just not getting the production. And I don't think it's all on Vic Fangio. I think it's on some of these players too. It's just the way it is, man. But hey, I appreciate you coming through Fins Up Wednesday. Hey, come through anytime, man.
Thank you. Hey, CB, I appreciate everything you do. I love the content. I'm always watching. I'll say one thing. Do you reckon if we put Chubb in Dancing with the Stars, he'll learn how to do a spin move?
Maybe, man. Because right now, the pass rush moves from Chubb they aren't there. They aren't there. And honestly, Chubb and Jalen Phillips, they have this prima donna about them that I don't like, right? They do their thing off on their own. They're really not a part of the group when it comes to like the defensive line. They consider themselves like outside linebacker guys, so they're not a part of the group. They need more toughness. They need to be more physical. And right now we're just seeing a lot of finesse from Chubb and Jalen Phillips, and it really is frustrating because we need those guys to be more physical, and they just aren't that right now. They just aren't that. So, hey, I agree with you. Chubb's got to figure it out. Jalen Phillips has got to figure it out too. Van Ginkel's playing tough, but he can't be the only one in there doing his job. So, hey, appreciate you coming through, bro. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Hey, shout out to everybody who came through, man. Just wanted to come to you guys, do a little show, talk a little Miami Dolphins. I think we had some really good conversations up here. Defense, defensive philosophy, right? And you guys got to understand that this is a learning experience. And we also got to understand that these aren't Fangio's guys, right? These aren't guys he's drafted. These aren't guys he wanted. There's only a few guys on this defense that Fangio felt like he wanted or needed for the defense to be successful. But it's also his job to coach these guys up and put them in a position to be successful. So that's no excuse, but we have to keep that in mind. We have to provide context to the situation. So I really do think Fangio will right the ship. It's going to happen. I think he needs to get some guys back healthy. I think he needs to start integrating some of the young guys like Cam Smith into playing. Because what I'm seeing out there is guys getting beat, and I'd rather see young rookies who are promising get beat than some of these older guys who we've given plenty of opportunities and they haven't performed. So that's where I'm at the moment. I think Cater needs to be in the nickel. He needs to be in the slot. And I think Cam Smith needs to be on the boundary with X. And Brandon Jones and Holland need to be back there until Deshaun Elliott until Deshaun Elliott gets back, right? But I mean, I think there's plenty of opportunity for us to right this ship. It's gonna happen. I think hopefully it starts this week with the Giants. I think we can come out and have a good performance. And typically this is what we do. We have good performances versus teams we're supposed to. We just want to see it in games like the Philadelphias, the Kansas Cities. Like we want to see it in games versus Buffalo. And that's one game, guys. That's one game. And the Chargers was one game also, but that was also the first game. So I think we're gonna see it get better over time. We just need to be patient, and I'm like I said, I'm giving Fangio on the defense till week 8, right? I'm giving it till week 8. He got till week 8 to figure it out, right? After that, we should be rolling. We should be fine tuning things. We should be working guys back into the rotations. I want to see better game plans. I want to see better game plans. Dre, what's up with you, man? What's going on? Dre says the realist here. Shout out to the homie Dre popping in, showing some love. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. My man ABAB says Philly's defensive tackles gonna ragdoll him. Oh, for sure. If we're going into Philly with Liam Eichenberg at center, we're looking at a bad day. Jalen Carter from Apopka, Florida would have a field day with that dude. He'd have a field day with Liam Eichenberg. He'd be licking his chops because he'd know he'd have a field day. So we got to get Connor back into the fold, man. Got to get Connor back into the fold. If we don't get Connor back into the fold, we are going to struggle offensively. You can't lose your center who's top 5 at the position and think it's going to be sweet after that. That's not how it works, man. Dre, pull up, man. I'm gonna drop the link for you, man. Let's talk. I got about 15, 20 minutes left. 15, 20 minutes. If somebody want to jump on for the next 15, and then I gotta roll out. I gotta get my workday started. I see you, Mr. Miami, in the building. He says, "What's up, brother? CB83. How you doing today? How you feeling today? Much love and respect. Salute, brother. Salute. JR Black says Vic pride is on the line, or it better be. This reflects on him. It does, 100%. He knows why he was brought here. Not to blame Vic 100%, but it's to say 65% him and players. Okay, 65% players and then 35% Vic. It's on him. He's got to right the ship. He's got to get it. He's got to get it better. Got to get it better. Yo, Jalen Carter is a Florida boy. I did not know that. He is. He's actually from Apopka, Florida. I went to West Orange High School. Apopka is about 15 minutes down the road from me. So Apopka High School was our rival school. And Jalen went to Apopka High School. So, hey, right out of Orlando. Right out of the O. Jalen Carter's a dog. A real life monster. real life monster. I'm actually cool with some of his family members. Bro, he's a beast. He's a monster. I wanted him in Miami. New attitude. What's good with you? Members gang in the building. He says, pay Connor Williams now. Pay that dude now. Hey, we need Connor Williams back. Bad, man. We need Connor Williams back. Bad. Hey, does he get better really very quickly and get back on the field?
I hope so.
Okay. Yep. Hey, J.R. Black know a little bit. Hey, Apopka did have Warren Sapp as well. Yep. Warren Sapp out of Apopka High School, and so is Jalen Carter. Them boys came out of Apopka. You know who else came out of Apopka High School? Who was the fullback we had? The Miami Dolphins fullback. The white guy. It was maybe like 5 or 6 years ago. He went to Apopka High School as well. I forgot his name though. But he was a running back / fullback for us. He was out of Apopka High School also. Somebody got to give you the name of him. Mr. Miami says, I went to Miami Senior High School in Liberty City. Okay, I see y'all. Mudbone says our defense been garbage for a minute. New organic pass rush, can't tackle, can't stop the run in our secondary, stay in other team highlights. But yes, our pass defense was so bad, teams ran less on us. And that's crazy to think, bro. The pass defense is so bad that teams will just light your ass up in the pass game instead of running the football. And that's the problem I think I have with it is that, bro, the secondary just ain't better. Like you go from 26 and you worse than you were last year. You're supposed to have better players back there. You drafted guys. You got in Jalen Ramsey. You don't have them playing right now. But shit, Cam Smith got to run, right? You use the second overall pick. At this point, it's time to integrate him in. It really is, man. Mudbone says, which made our defense run. Our run defense seem, and our run defense hasn't been great. It hasn't been. They just choose to pass on us. They choose to light us up in the pass game because they know our secondary ain't like people think it is. It just ain't there yet. It's just not there, man. Hey, but I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get the day started. I'll probably be back at some point later today or tomorrow. Be sure to turn on notifications, like, share, and subscribe. You know, this is where you come to get that Miami Dolphins cloth talk. Just real talking about football, talking about coverages, talking about defense, talking about offense. Talking about coaching philosophies, like the Miami Dolphins are trying to figure it out. Vic Fangio is new to the building, right? He's going to have some rifts with players, right? He's going to have some relationships and some times where guys butt heads, but that's a part of it. That's a part of being a professional. That's a part of being a human being, right? At this point, it's just a matter of figuring it out. Hey, where can we meet on this? Because I know we may be far apart in our thinking process on where we are philosophy wise, but where can we come together and meet in the middle and make the sacrifice to meet in the middle and come together for one another? And I think this team is going to need to face some of that adversity in order for them to get to the Super Bowl caliber that we think they are. Like that's got to happen. There's got to be some iron sharpening iron. It's got to be some grinding on each other, some rubbing on each other. It's got to be some friction. Got to be friction. Because really, when it comes down to it, friction really does it really does sharpen you, right? It sharpens you. So there's got to be adversity. There's got to be some friction. In order for you to bake a cake, there's got to be some heat in the oven. Right? So you got to crank it up. Hey, there you go, J.R. Black. Chandler Cox. Yep. Chandler Cox, Sammy Smith, Brandon Merriweather. Wow, all Apopka alumni. Yep. All dogs, too. Chandler Cox was actually for the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Merriweather, funny story. Brandon Merriweather actually graduated the same year I graduated high school. We actually played each other our senior year. They had a state championship team. We were like a middle of the road team, but I did score a touchdown on Brandon Merriweather at the tight end position on like a high crosser route. We were running a waggle play action, come across the backside. I'm running a high cross across the field, and I scored like a 30-yard touchdown on Brand Weatherweather. So cool story there. But he was a dog. Played in the league for plenty of years. Had a really good career. And yeah, Apopka's got some dogs that come out of there, man. Everywhere in Central Florida's got some players. We got some football players down here, man. But hey, I appreciate y'all coming through. Hey, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Send this to somebody. Tell them to subscribe. I appreciate all the support. I got to go through the donations real quick. Give a shout out to the homie Chef Jew for renewing his membership. Fins Up Winsy for dropping a $5 donation from New Zealand. Appreciate you, homie. Appreciate you coming up to and cooking with me. He says, we got cooked, but let's get to cooking. Hey, we did get cooked. We did get cooked. We was out there on Sunday looking like Adrian.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Hey, we came out like this.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
So we came out super confident. We left the game.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
I ain't gonna lie, we get cooked. Hey, it's fun, man. It's all in fun. Hey, the Miami Dolphins will bounce back, man. I'm not worried about it. Hey, let's get ready for this big dub this week versus the New York Giants. And then fan club weekend next weekend. And then we go get to take on the Philadelphia Eagles Sunday night in Philly for a nice primetime game to show we really that team. Let's go, man. I appreciate everybody coming out. It's Fins Take with CB83, and your boy is out. See ya later.
Came from the bottom, that's foreign. I swear that I'm up for the sun in the morning. Oof, hey, I gotta flex. I need a Nike bag, give me the check. I need the money and power, respect, but I promise I'm repping the O to the dead. Hey, oof, I sort them out of my way. I don't got nothing to say. Now they can't run at my pace. Yeah, they know that we ain't the same. 402, we rap the game. I told them this ain't a game.